I refused to apologize after my sister cried at my boundary. My mom called me heartless. My dad said I was being dramatic, but neither of them knew what my sister had done 3 months ago. It started when my sister Lindsay asked to borrow my car for a weekend trip. She said her car was in the shop and she'd take good care of mine. I said no. That was my boundary. One word, no. She immediately started crying. Not quiet tears. Full breakdown in my living room. Mascara everywhere. Hands shaking. The whole performance. My mom was visiting when it happened. She grabbed my arm and pulled me into the kitchen. What is wrong with you? She's your sister. Just let her borrow the car. I said no again. My dad called 20 minutes later. Lindsay had already texted him. He used his disappointed voice. The one that used to make me cave on everything. You're really going to let your sister cry over a car? I told him this wasn't about the car. What's it about then? He asked. I didn't answer. I wasn't ready to explain yet. The thing is, Lindsay had borrowed things from me my whole life. Clothes, money, time, emotional energy. She borrowed my prom dress and returned it with a wine stain. She borrowed $500 for rent and never paid it back. She borrowed my apartment for a week and left it trashed. But none of that was why I said no. 3 months ago, Lindsay asked to borrow my laptop while hers was getting repaired. I said yes because I'm an idiot who never learned. She had it for 5 days. When I got it back, something felt off. My passwords were saved differently. My browser history was cleared. I checked my email and saw something that made my blood run cold. Someone had logged into my bank account from my laptop. Someone had transferred $2,000 to an account I didn't recognize. I called my bank immediately. They traced the transfer. The receiving account belonged to Lindsay's boyfriend Derek. I confronted her that same night. She denied everything at first. Then she cried. Then she admitted it. Derek needed money for a business opportunity. She was going to pay it back before I noticed. She didn't think it was a big deal because we're family. I told her I wanted my money back within 30 days or I was pressing charges. She paid me back in 28 days, but she never apologized. Not once. She acted like I was the one who wronged her by demanding my own money back. So when she asked to borrow my car 3 months later like nothing happened, I said no. My mom kept pushing. She's family. You have to forgive her eventually. I looked at my mom. Did she tell you what she did? My mom's face flickered. She said you two had a misunderstanding about money. A misunderstanding. That's what Lindsay called stealing $2,000 from my bank account. I pulled out my phone and showed my mom the bank statements, the transfer records, the screenshots of Lindsay admitting what she did in our text messages. My mom went quiet. She read everything twice. Then she set my phone down slowly. She didn't tell me any of this. Of course she didn't. My dad called again that night. This time his voice was different. Your mother showed me what Lindsay did. And, long pause, I think your boundary makes sense. That was as close to an apology as I was going to get from him. Lindsay texted me the next morning. Mom told me she knows. You didn't have to humiliate me like that. I didn't respond. She texted again. I said I was sorry. I scrolled through our entire message history. Not once. Not a single apology. I screenshot the conversation and sent it back to her. She didn't text me for 3 weeks after that. When she finally reached out, it was different. She asked if we could meet for coffee. Said she had things she needed to say. I almost said no, but something made me agree. She showed up looking nervous. Hands wrapped around her mug. Eyes down. I stole from you. She said it quietly. I told myself it wasn't stealing because we're sisters, but it was. And I'm sorry. I waited. I'm sorry I never apologized before. I'm sorry I made you look like the bad guy to mom and dad. I'm sorry I cried when you said no to the car like you were being unreasonable. She finally looked up at me. You weren't being unreasonable. I just didn't want to admit what I did. I sat with that for a moment. Then I nodded. Thank you for saying that. We didn't hug. We didn't cry. But something shifted. 6 months later, she asked to borrow $20 for gas. I said yes. She Venmo'd me back that same night with a message that said, told you I'd pay it back. That's when I knew she finally understood.